Alright, this is our video for week 1, and I'm going to walk you through the ins and outs of what we're going to be working on this week. So just to get started, I did post this introduction video just a few minutes to tell you a little bit more about me as your instructor. So please do watch that, and I'm going to skip down here to week 1. So for this week, the readings are really based on a broad-based view of organizations, policies within organizations, and how programs are developed and run within an organizational context. So you'll be reading probably a lot of definitions, but really understanding the relationships between policy, programs, and organizations. There are going to be 2 discussions this week, and while your first assignment is not due until week 2, I do want you to start thinking about that this week, so we'll go over that quickly as well. Under Learning Resources, all of your readings are listed there. And again, you'll be reading about social service organizations, their functions, the legal environment of organizations and their structures, and then again, analyzing the relationship between policies, programs, and organizational functions. All of the links are working as of last week, so if there is a reading that doesn't seem to work, please do let me know. For your discussion, you're going to be reading a case study on Anita, and which is right here. It's just 1 page and a brief overview of Anita's story, and I'd like you to pay attention to her commitments as an individual, the organizations that she's a part of, whether they be social organizations or service organizations that serve her financial needs and or her health needs. And in a perfect world, you'll be thinking about what are the services, if Anita could get anything that she needed, what are the services that she should have? And that's going to be your first discussion questions. What kinds of services should be available to Anita and her children? And then from your current social work practice experience, what are the barriers and issues, whether they're at the micro, mid, or macro level, that exist that might limit her and her family from receiving the services that you know they need? So quickly about when the initial posts and response posts are due for discussion forums throughout the semester. Your initial post prompt, similar to other classes, is due by Thursday evening of the week by 11:59 p.m. And your response post, which is a follow-up to at least one of your classmates who does not yet have responses, to discuss any similarities or differences that you see between what you've shared and what they've shared, is due by Sunday evening, and that can be posted anytime between Friday and Sunday of the current week that we're in. If for any reason you are unable to make a post on time, please do get in touch with me in advance so that we can discuss it. If I have not heard from you and your post is late, it will be marked late. And in regards to grades, I will do my best to be grading every week as you post, and posting those grades in Engage so that you'll be able to see them. So now to the second discussion question for week 1, which is about getting to know an organization. I am going to be posting dyads and triads for the week. We'll be switching those around, so for week 1 you'll have 1 or 2 partners. In week 2, you'll have a different set of partners, but you'll be completing a response following the response post to your partner's initial post. So you're going to be working with a partner for this post. Excuse me. So the initial post prompt, we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about the context in which we practice social work, and that can mean physical context or otherwise, and as well as all the different roles that we may be playing within those contexts. The assignments that you'll be doing in this course are also going to have you identify an organization or an agency to assess where we'll be developing a program and then writing a grant for it. For those of you that have a field placement right now, you could use your placement agency. For others, it could be a former employment site or a volunteer site, or it could simply be an organization that is of interest to you. The more access that you have to the organization that you choose, the easier the course assignments will be for you to complete. So please do keep that in mind as well. Excuse me. So for your initial post, you're going to be completing all of the following here: the name and location of an organization or agency, either a human service or social work organization, and then please use the above paragraphs for guidance, and then brief 4 to 6 sentences describing the organization, as well as your role or desired role within the organization. For the response post, you'll be using your partner's organization as the subject of your research, and you're going to conduct a media and social media investigation of the organization and be responding to that research that you've done. So you'll be spending at least 30 minutes, but not more than an hour and a half, documenting the online presence and the reputation of the organization that your partner has chosen to write about in their initial post. So I would suggest just creating a folder on your desktop where you can collect all of that evidence. You can use media clips, whether it's text or video, screenshots, photos, different PDF documents or web links, to capture whatever evidence you can find about the online presence of this organization through their webpage, as well as unofficial evidence such as news stories if they've been in the news recently, or other social media mentions. I'd like you to post 2 to 3 paragraphs summarizing what you found for your response post, and in your response post, please do address all of the following that I've highlighted here. This response post will be, again, due between Friday and Sunday of this week. If you have questions about this, or you and your dyad are talking and have some questions, please just get in touch with me over email. Your first assignment for this course is not due until week 2. However, I do want you to start thinking about this assignment, which will have you document the organizational capacity, or assessing the organizational capacity. This assignment is linked to your final proposal, as the other assignments will be as well. So it's really important that you choose the organization that you want to work with, that you'll be focusing on for the rest of the semester. Again, you can choose any organization that you wish, but the one that you have more of a connection with or interest in makes the most sense because of how much you'll be focusing on this. Ideally, what you write about for your assignment in week 2 should be what you've chosen for week 1, but if that ends up changing, that's also okay. Here is the description of the format that I would like you to use for this assignment, and the 4 sections that you'll be addressing are describing the organization, its existing structure and services, the relationship this organization has in the environment to either other organizations in the area, excuse me, how they collaborate with other agencies to provide either similar or different services, and an analysis of how that organization functions and how they've adapted, which basically means how the organization may be funded and their capacity to develop a new program. So the questions that I'd like you to address are listed here. And here is the rubric for the assignment as well. Assignment 1 is worth 15% of your grade. It's 50 points. And while it is okay for you to certainly talk with your dyad and share ideas, each of you will be doing your own organizational capacity assessment. I think that is about it for week 1. We went over the readings, the 2 discussion questions, and what to start thinking about for the first assignment that is due in week 2. Excuse me. Again, I'm available by email if you have any questions, and I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you.